I keep thinking Power Rangers. like the blue and the pink, like they need each other to make the big.
Oh, they need each other in Power Rangers to make the big robot.
So like, is that the type of relationship that you guys are on, or is it more of like, right now it's just because of the love, affection that you guys give to each other, right? Is it more of the mental state of love, or is it the physical state of love that is keeping you guys attracted, right?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Unfiltered Couple Show. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Justin.
And today we're going to go off of part 1 of the 10 red flags in a relationship. And this is part 2. So we're going to be going over 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Yes, this is part 2 of the series of the 5 red flags.
10 red flags.
10 red flags.
Part 1 was 5, our first 5, and now we're doing the last 5.
These are going to be the last 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're gonna say this is part 1 and then start from 1, or are we gonna start from 6?
This is part 2.
I know, so are we gonna say 6 or 1?
Oh, I was gonna go from 1, but we can review. I can just say 1 through 5.
We're gonna do a little review. Also, if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you watch part 1 because we did talk about 5 red flags, and now today we're gonna talk about another 5 red flags. Yeah.
The last 5.
The last 5 ones.
In part 1, just a brief overview. The first 5, number 1 to look out for is controlling and gaslighting. And if you see me looking down, like if you're watching from YouTube, I'm looking at our list. Number 2 is feeling insecure. Number 3 is justifying bad behavior. Number 4 is unable to talk through issues. And number 5 is breaking boundaries. And again, these are all things that we've researched on our own, and we've just nitpicked and chose our favorite ones.
All right, so let's start with number 6. What's number 6, Kelsey?
Okay, so number 6 on our top 10 red flags in a relationship is noticing if your partner is allergic to your success. Ooh.
All right, so allergic, huh?
Allergic to your success. So it's basically like if I were to be like, if I had a success in my job, or if I did something really good, or like a promotion or something, and then you would just be like allergic, like you don't vibe with it. Okay, well,
I guess that could be a pro
and
con. Jealousy. Well, I mean, I think in every relationship, someone wants to be better than the other. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's like a mini battle between you and the other person, right?
A teensy bit.
Teensy bit. So it's good to have a little bit of jealousy.
Friendly competition.
Yeah, I guess.
To better yourselves and make yourselves work harder. But in this situation, it's not that.
So I guess, what was it?
It's
jealous?
Yeah, like really being allergic to your success. Like I hate it when I feel very jealous when you have your success.
Yeah, I can see that because if you are not in a relationship that's in a caring mindset, right, then obviously one person is going to want to be better than the other, right? And so I guess in terms of seeing relationship goals, right, you don't want to be too jealous of the other person, right? Because whatever their success is also in your favor too, right? Yeah. Because you guys are together. So
that's a good one.
Yeah. I forgot my train of thought because of that.
Sorry.
Sorry. What's it talking about?
My success should be your success too.
Right. Yeah. So it's good to have a little battle, like a friendly battle, but jealousy can be mild or it can be severe where like you take it to the extreme, right? And you just have to watch out because you just have to remember that your partner's success is also your success because it grows with you and it also grows with the person. Now, if it's something where like it's too big of a jump, where it's like a different life change or a lifestyle that's changed, like because of money, like all of a sudden you get a promotion of, let's say, I don't know, in the crazy terms, another $100,000 a year, right? And you guys have to both equally be okay with it and still have the same lifestyle, right? If the other person is now all of a sudden going out and partying and different lifestyle all of a sudden, right? Then that becomes a red flag also that, hey, this is crazy, right? And like, you always have to work it out with your partner, I think.
That's a good point you made. And I think this can also apply to friendships too. Like even like in a close friendship, like it doesn't have to be a romantic like relationship, but even in a close friendship, you see a lot of people who grow jealous of the other just because of their career aspirations or their career like progressions. And yeah, that goes for like if you're an entrepreneur or if you're in a corporate job or if you're just whatever you're working on, like anyone can get jealous, even your closest friends. And I think we've both experienced that too. So it's definitely applied in a romantic setting as well.
Yeah, because you're always with the partner, right? And the partner is always going to be with you, hopefully, right? And so you guys want to work things out, right? If, you get a promotion, you always want to tell them, and hey, it's a good thing, right? Because you're always improving. You don't want to de-improve. Is that even a word?
De-improve.
Like not improve in a relationship,
digress.
Right? Yeah, digress.
Or regress.
You want to keep improving, right? That's the point in life, right? You always want to improve on the next day and next day and next day. So
you should push your partner, uplift your partner, and not like be jealous in the worst way possible.
Because there's no point of doing that, because your success rides on your other partner too, right? If one person is succeeding and one person isn't, that person that isn't is going to be like,
they might feel inferior in a way.
And you might feel like you're being dragged by that person.
Yeah.
Which then, that's a red flag that a relationship isn't going to work, right? You guys haven't worked things out, or something's
if it's
off.
Not worked out. Yeah, you should definitely sort of like kind of battle this. You should definitely talk to your partner and be on like the same ground level and talk things through.
All right. So now that we talked about 6, what's number 7, Kelsey?
The 7th red flag is the fact that everything's about them. Obviously, I think that's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I guess
it's a red flag.
Yeah, like I always say, relationship is always 50-50, right? So when
you say 50-50, like it doesn't mean that like I have to put in, it does mean that you should be putting in the same amount of effort, but my level of effort may be different than your level of effort. Like my highest effort could be your like medium effort, but it's still my highest effort. So when he says like 50-50, don't take it like, because I watched this thing on TikTok where they're talking about like relationship, and like this girl didn't believe that, relationships should be 50-50. She was explaining how like my level of like 100% might be different than your level of 100%.
Right. I mean, that just depends on a relationship term, right?
In a general term, what we mean is
like
just putting in your best effort, both sides.
But look into your conversations, right? If your conversation is always about one person and one person's story or one person's day or one person's finance or this and that, right? Then we're talking about a red flag, because that person that is the only one talking, or the basic whole conversation of the relationship is basically the only one that cares about themselves, right? That means that they're not looking out for the best interest of you, right? And they're only taking care of themselves, right? So it's also a thing of, are they open-minded in the relationship, or are they hard-headed and they don't give a crap, right?
Yeah, about you. I think this also ties into the previous red flag, being allergic to your success.
Yeah, and if you look at all these red flags, they're all about like working together, right?
Yeah.
And like knowing each other and like being able to work things out and like figure out what works with your relationship and what doesn't work with your relationship.
Yeah, and if you feel like you can't work it out, or you can't like get to that person and sit down and talk to them, then I think that just says, a huge red flag all in all. You should be able to sit down with your partner and talk about things.
You should. All right, what is number 8, Kelsey?
The 8th, we're zooming through these. The 8th is future faking. Ooh.
What's future faking?
What I mean by that is basically like they talk about your future together. Like, let's go live in like a big city and let's go get this and that and like I'm gonna make so much money for us and blah 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 and have a good life, but they don't take the steps towards getting there. Like they're faking like they have this future in mind but they don't work towards it.
I can see both ways. It's good to make goals, right? So I wouldn't call making goals future faking, right? If you are
that's totally different.
Right, if you're constantly, right, telling the partner that we're going to do this, but you don't work towards your goal, right, to that goal, then you are future faking in sort of what you're saying, right? Because you're not taking the right actions to get to where you want, right? But in terms of if you're setting goals and you're actively doing it every single day, or you're actively thinking about it and you're actively doing something about it, now that's different. You're setting a goal in your relationship to move forward and forward because that's what you want to do in a relationship, right? You don't want to be here and stay here your whole life because you guys would probably break up, right? You guys always want to constantly grow and grow and grow and grow and grow.
And obviously, as a partner, if you are like saying all those things, but you're not moving towards that and actively doing the steps to get there, then I feel like I would be very what are you doing? Like, I wouldn't be on the same page in our future. Like, I might want to, take action, but you're not. And it's like, kind of like, you're lazy.
Right. You guys both want to go at it, right? If you guys have set a goal together, right? Let's say 2 years from now, we want to buy a home, right? That's our goal. We want to settle into a home, right? And in those 2 years, you both just sit around a couch, right? Not go to work, just eat popcorn and watch movies.
And I think it's worse if one person is like that than the other.
Yeah. So, I mean, if both of you guys are like that, I think it's okay.
With it,
yeah, that's okay.
That's not future faking, but like if one person is,
like one person is one person is ambitious for that goal, and the other one is just sitting around, just dozing off,
But the other one that's sitting around and dozing off is like the one that's also like, yeah, let's go for it, but they're not making the effort to. Obviously, yeah, it's like kind of like a project. Like if you're at school and you're working on a project, like you all have the goal of getting a good grade and getting it done.
Right, that's a good analogy. That's a good analogy.
You're usually the ones with the analogy. Yeah. But like I hate that. Like that's my pet peeve. But you have this goal to get a good grade and working together as a team project. But then one person's like slacking off. But you need them to finish their part. And if they don't, then you have to put up the slack.
Yeah, and I think that happens a lot once people get married and they start realizing like their other significant other is pretty lazy and they're just not ambitious. Yeah. That's where a lot of relationships fall through because everyone has goals in life, or it could be not dream. It could be can't talk this morning. It can be realistic. Can be relationship, or it could be financial goals or personal goals, and you have to work together to get to those goals, right? But if one person is stopping you from that goal, it's really frustrating, and it's a red flag that hey, my partner is either lazy or just doesn't care. There's it just depends on what your partner is doing, right? Yeah. Is he like not letting me pursue my goals, or is he a blocker, right? Like a wall blocker, or is he is he just like not letting me do this? Like you have to realize like what in a relationship should be going on, right? Because if both of you guys are set on a goal, right? Regardless of if you're lazy or if you're tired or you just don't want to do it, it's a set goal. Too. Yeah. So you always want to be like in the same wavelength of working together and making sure you make that future happen for yourself and for your partner, right?
Yeah. Right. That one's a good one. That one, future faking. Yep.
All right. What are we? 8, 9? 9? Oh, we're almost done.
We're zooming through these. Yeah. But number 9 is being overly clingy.
Overly clingy.
Am I overly clingy?
So, naturally, I'm not a very emotional person. Yeah. So, I guess in terms of overly clingy can come in different arrangements of people.
Clingy, like
But it's not all about, huggy, lovey-dovey stuff. But it
Ooh,
also
yeah.
just can be like, is this person too attached to you, right? Um, just clingy can be a lot of terms, right? It does love, like giving love is also a good thing, but when you're clingy to the point where you are sort of blocking the person from doing what he needs to do or her,
Obsessed.
yeah, that becomes a red flag because I mean, it's
It
like
can be
having an
scary. That
idol.
can be scary.
Yeah, like imagine like you guys are in a relationship, right? But you guys have different perspectives, right? It's like the other person is worshiping that person like an idol, right? And then the person that's being worshipped thinks of you a as their fan, right? It's you guys are in a different wavelength now.
It's kind of like a not a symbiotic relationship,
Symbiote. Yes, it's more
but
like a not mutual, but like what's one?
what's the one where
It's like a
ambiotic
huh?
relationship? Sorry,
No,
I'm not good at
it's like a
science.
parasite.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like one
Parasitic
person.
relationship? No, I
Yes.
forgot what it's called.
So it's like one person is sucking the life of the other.
Leeching.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
And then the and then the other person is just not benefiting, right? So you got to watch out for that, right?
If
Because
you
like,
feel drained from the other
mhm.
person, then that's probably this red flag.
And some people just can't take it. Overly clingy can come in a lot of terms. I know a lot of guys just do not like it when like.
Like a simple text, like texting too.
Right. I think personal space is a big thing about being overly clingy, right? You need your own personal space, right? You need your own personal space to be able to not be overly clingy, right?
Yeah.
Don't pass that borderline of the person's bubble, right?
Yeah.
If you're popping that person's bubble constantly 24/7, more than love, I think it's more irritating,
Yeah.
right? So just understand your partner, know your partner, and
Yeah, but
be in that terms of not clingy, not
Yeah.
too clingy, but also giving love and affection, right?
Yeah, and something to keep in mind is like sometimes like when you take time away from your partner, even for like a day or like a few hours in a day, it makes meeting up a whole lot better.
Yes.
Yeah,
And meeting up.
like when you after like a day of not being together
Mm-hmm.
and then you come back together, like I think it makes you like stronger affectionate, like
Yeah,
more
so-
appreciative for that person, and you're like, hi.
Okay. Yeah, it's just
I don't know.
figure out what works in your relationship, basically, right? See what is overly excessive in your relationship and what is normal in your relationship,
Yeah.
right? Because normal could be like you guys just talk or text, right? And you guys don't give affection. That's okay. If that's the relationship that you guys have bonded on,
Mhm.
that's fine. But there are other relationships where the man or your partner, right? Not only I cannot talk this morning. It's not only that it doesn't have to be man and woman. It can be just your partner, right? You guys are both very affectionate, right? Where you see like you go to a grocery store and they're all like all hugging and
They like
Yeah.
PDA.
That's their relationship, right? That's
Mhm.
their way of expressing their love, and that's okay, right? And then there's some where it's some days you're like that, some days you aren't, right? And that's okay. It's just based on how your relationship has grown to be, right?
Yeah, and I think when we say overly clingy, it's like to the point where it negatively affects one person's
It harms you in one
emotions,
sort
feelings,
of way. Yeah.
Security, that type of thing.
Yeah. All right. So which one are we? Are we
We're
on
on
the last one already?
We're on the 10th red flag that we've picked out based on our research.
We've been going for 20 minutes already.
Yeah, it feels
Ooh.
like 10.
That's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
but
What's the last one,
The
Kelsey?
final and last one that we've come to involves friends and family, and it's basically getting negative vibes from your friends and family. And now if you don't realize that like these red flags have popped up in your relationship, but you don't notice it, which is totally normal. You can go through a relationship and not notice any of these red flags, but they're clearly there. You can always like ask around. Your friends and family will notice.
Oh, you're talking about like if your friends and family are telling you, hey, something's up.
Like
Oh,
your friends and
yeah.
family get negative vibes from this person that you're dating.
This can be a red flag. This could also be something that you ignore, right? And then it hit you in the back because you see this in a lot of relationships, right? You're in the middle of this love, right? And like people are telling you, hey, I think you're in a toxic relationship, blah blah blah, but you decide to ignore the fact that so many people have told you that, right? And then 5 years down the road, after you guys get married or whatever, right, it hits you in the butt, and then you guys want to get divorced because of the reason, right? So, or worst comes to worst, you guys do something else, like you guys go 180 degrees, right, and then crime happens or whatever happens, right? This you see this a lot, right? You're in the middle of this love that you guys have created, and you guys don't see past
The love.
Yeah, the love, right? And then other people do because they're not really emotionally attached to both of you guys, right? They're in the favor of helping you because they're your friends or family. And you just decide to ignore it. And then, later it hits you in the butt. And then you guys decide that, hey, it's not good after, 10 years of dating, right?
Yeah.
And this can be a red flag, or it also cannot be a red flag, right? Some people ignore their parents or their friends and family, and they become a very good relationship, right? Or it could hurt you in the butt, and you can also become a negative relationship, right? So it's all a part of being you, right? Is this really the person that you really want to be with, right?
Yeah.
For 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 90 years, right? However long we're going to live. I don't know how long we're going to live, but is that the person that's really you want to become, right? Do you want to become that person? And does that person want to become you, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to be, I don't want to say like molded together to one. I keep thinking Power Rangers. like the blue and the pink, like they need each other to make the big.
They need each other in Power Rangers to make the big robot.
So like, is that the type of relationship that you guys are on? Or is it more of like, right now it's just because of the love, affection that you guys give to each other, right? Is it more of the mental state of love, or is it the physical state of love that is keeping you guys attracted, right? Because you guys want to make sure that you guys are being in a healthy relationship, right, and not in a very negative relationship, right? So you want to always get advice. Well,
consider your friends and family's opinions. It's easy to ignore your friends and family's opinions, especially if they're like maybe badgering it at you that it's a toxic relationship or unhealthy. But really consider and be open-minded to other people's opinions around you, because they can probably see what you don't, outside of the love that's in your brain.
Right.
Yeah, so I think that's a good one to wrap all of this up.
Wrap it up. All right. So, Kelsey, can you wrap them up with 1 to 10?
Okay. So I'm just going to go down the list of our 10 red flags in a relationship that we've nitpicked out from our research. So our first one, controlling gaslighting. Second, feeling insecure. Third, justifying bad behavior. Fourth, unable to talk through issues. 5, breaking boundaries. 6, allergic to your success. 7, everything's about them. 8, future faking. 9, being overly clingy. And the last one, getting negative vibes from friends and family.
Yep. Those are the 10 red flags. Obviously there are more in a relationship.
Yeah, there are a lot more, but these are the ones that we kind of like stood out to us a little bit.
And like, you guys should know what are red flags in your relationship, right? We don't have to tell you what red flags are in your relationship. If you're searching up on Google, like, blah, 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 something that's negative in your relationship, maybe that's a red flag. Maybe you really need to consult a therapist, or your mother, or your father.
Or your friend.
Or your friends, right?
Or your aunt. Or anyone close to you.
Those are red flags immediately, and I think that is the best red flag you have in your relationship. Or if there's something that's like in the back of your head where you have to constantly think of, maybe that's a red flag that your relationship isn't working, right?
Yeah.
And either you try and figure out how to make it work
with your partner,
or maybe it's just not the right fit, right? So it all depends on your relationship. Now, these are just 10 that we came up with, or I didn't come up with it. So Kelsey made up the list, but it really just depends on your relationship, because no one can tell you what's a red flag in your relationship, right? It's all between you and your partner, and something where you guys can settle it, or is it something that you just cannot deal with?
Yeah.
And it's just
you need some consultation with.
Yep, consultation with.
Yeah,
so,
and we're not saying that these red flags like determine your relationship.
right.
They can always be fixed and molded and transformed into something better that
Right.
you grow from.
Mhm.
But if you do have experience with these red flags, like you
should.
have valid your voice and opinions are valid, should be
Mhm.
validated in any relationship,
Yep.
and you should really seek some
Help.
good help
Yep.
from trusted people.
And I just want to let you guys know we are not, what do you call it, like relationship
Disclaimer,
therapists,
yeah,
or like we're not medically fit to be your therapist.
Yeah.
But this is just from our opinions, like we said. I mean, this is from our relationship and just knowing each other, right? So take it as a grain of salt, right? I guess that's what I have to say, right? It all depends on your relationship. But we can help you guys, right? That's the best thing we can do.
If you feel open to like anonymously, like even like message or DM us or email us, like we're always open. But with that said, that is part 2. And if you haven't listened or watched part 1, go ahead and check that out. That's probably right before this episode. Oops, sorry.
And also make sure you guys watch us on YouTube and on Podbean and on Spotify. And then I think today we just got onto TuneIn. TuneIn. We are still waiting for Apple iTunes. I will double check on that, and by the next video we post, if it's up, then we'll let you guys know. Make sure you guys follow us. Everything's in our Instagram, right? It's on our link tree. If you click on it, you'll get automatically to the list. Just hit that button to subscribe or download our podcast, and you guys will be with the latest and the greatest of our episodes. And I hope you guys enjoy this. I don't know. Kelsey decided that we're going to pursue this for a long time now, and so
it's fun.
I think now we've decided that this is going to be a daily thing, even though our life is hectic.
Like it a lot. Leave us comments and likes. It really helps us.
Helps her. Not me.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, she likes the ding ding ding. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna end this video. It's becoming a long video. Bye guys.
Bye.
Enjoy your day. Bye.